Drought Watch is brought to you exclusively by Zimatic by Lindsay. Tough, durable center pivot irrigation. Visit lindsayadvantage.com.
While USDA is preparing to release its yield projections, some farmers are already seeing yield results firsthand. AgDay national reporter Tyne takes us to the Show Me State, where the heat has pushed this year's crop to be ready a month early.
Farmers along the Missouri River bottoms know disaster all too well. One farmer I talked to in Carroll County, Missouri, lost more than 3,000 acres to flooding last year. With sand still replacing soil in many fields, 2011 still weighs on their minds. 2012, however, isn't turning out much better. It's been a complete 180-degree turnaround in weather, but the outcome could be similar. Last spring, hopes were high for this year's crop.
We had the best day in the corn we've had in years here.
Travis Matthews farms in an area that's experienced above normal rainfall the past few years. This year, however, Mother Nature decided to shut the water off all at once.
Pollination wasn't very good on a lot of crops, a lot of our corn crop in our area, so we're just way below normal on rainfall.
It's more than just no rain that's causing these crops to shrivel. 2012 has been a year for the record books, including the above average heat that's scorching the corn.
And the temperatures have just been through the roof, 106, 108, just several days in a row.
Matthews says on his good ground he will still raise an average crop. But it's the poor soil that will cause the whole farm average yield to plummet.
In our area, soil type means a lot right now because our soil, if you've got a good farm with good soil, the corn is hanging on a little bit longer. But if it's very stressy like sand or gumbo, it got beat up here 2 or 3 weeks ago and it's burnt completely up. But over the whole area that we farm, we're hoping for a 60 bushel average.
He says the average is normally 140 to 150 bushels per acre. And even though the calendar says early August, the crops tell a different story. Matthew says he spoke to a neighbor who already started to harvest. His yields ranged from 0 to 200 bushels per acre.
But the whole farm averaged around 110 to 120. Average moisture was 25. So I was pleasantly surprised with that in our area. I don't think the county is going to nearly hit that.
Matthew says based on how poor crops are looking in the surrounding areas, he thinks USDA will need to drop its yield estimates even further.
Across the board, I think national average is going to come in maybe at 120 to 130, 125. They're going to have to lower it some more, and we're going to lose a tremendous amount of acres that are already getting baled up, disc up. We're already losing production daily.
And Matthew says while crops look decent considering the extreme drought and heat, 2012 isn't panning out to be the record high year many farmers were banking on. And Clinton, while many of his soybean fields are chest high and still green, there aren't a lot of pods setting. He says the next 2 weeks will be the determining factor on soybean yields, so he desperately needs rain. But right now he projects his soybean yields will be anywhere from 5 to 40 bushels per acre, depending on the field.
And Tyne, I understand you've personally seen the challenges these farmers have gone through over the last couple of years.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Travis and Haas Matthews are actually my cousins, so I visited with them while I was back home, and he told me that at least 3 fields have been destroyed and he'll have to completely walk away from those. So it's just heartbreaking, to go home and see some of these cornfields burnt to a crisp.
Definitely. Thanks, Tyne.